There is something happening right now that you need to know about. Something that has been unfolding quietly, behind the scenes, in a realm you cannot see with your natural eyes. And today, I am going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly what it is. Because the thing that is happening, the thing heaven has been orchestrating, it involves you. Specifically you. And it involves someone else. Someone whose mind has not been able to stop thinking about you. Someone who keeps seeing your name, feeling your presence, sensing something about you that will not go away no matter how hard they try to shake it. And they do not understand why. They are confused, maybe even a little unsettled, because they did not expect this. They did not plan for this. And yet there you are, showing up in their thoughts, showing up in their dreams, showing up in moments they thought had nothing to do with you at all. And I need you to hear this very clearly. That is not a coincidence. That is God. That is heaven placing you on someone's radar in a way that cannot be ignored. And by the end of this message, you are going to understand exactly what it means, and exactly what you are supposed to do about it. So stay with me. Do not scroll away. Do not let this moment pass, because this word was meant for you, and it is about to change the way you see everything. Now, right at the very beginning, before we go any deeper, I want to ask you to do something simple but powerful. If this video found you at the right time, if something inside you stirred the moment you clicked on this, I want you to go to the comments right now and type something. Type, "I receive this word." Not because it is a trick, not because it is just an engagement tactic, but because there is genuine spiritual power in declaration. There is power in saying, "I am open to what God is sending." Scripture tells us in Matthew chapter 7, verse 7, "Ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be open to you." Ask, seek, knock. And declaring, "I receive this word," is all three of those things at once. It is you asking, seeking, and knocking on a door that heaven is already preparing to open for you. So do that now. Type it, and then keep watching, because what I am about to share is going to land somewhere very deep inside you. Let me take you back to a moment, maybe recent, maybe not so recent, when something shifted in your life. Something changed. Not dramatically, quietly. A relationship ended, or a connection faded, or a person you thought was going to be part of your story simply moved on. And you were left in a space that felt like an ending. Like the story was over. Like that chapter had closed and there was nothing left to read. And maybe for a while, it did feel that way. Maybe for a while, you grieved it, questioned it, wondered if you had done something wrong, or if the timing was just bad, or if love was just not meant to work out the way you hoped. But here is what you did not know, what you could not have known. The chapter did not close. It paused. And behind the pause, in the invisible sacred space where God does his most intimate work, something began. Something that had nothing to do with you trying to make it happen. Something that was entirely orchestrated by heaven. And that something is this: God began to place you in someone's mind. Someone who might not even be the person you were thinking about. Someone you might not have even considered. Someone whose life is being quietly, gently rearranged by the presence of you. And they are confused by it. Because it came out of nowhere. Because it does not fit neatly into the plans they had made. Because they did not expect to feel this way. But they do. And your name, or the thought of you, or the feeling of you, keeps showing up. Over and over again. And they cannot make it stop. and they do not entirely want to. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 2 says, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep you away. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned, the flames will not set you ablaze. I will be with you. Not I will watch from a distance. Not I will send someone else. I will be with you." And that promise, that intimate, personal promise from God, is not just for the dramatic moments. It is for the quiet ones too. The ones where nothing seems to be happening. The ones where you are waiting in the silence, wondering if anyone in heaven even remembers your heart. God is with you there, especially there. And He is doing something in that silence that is going to take your breath away when you finally see it. Now I want to go deeper into the experience of the person who keeps thinking about you. Because I think understanding what they are going through is going to help you understand what is actually happening in the spiritual realm between you. And it is going to help you know how to respond. When I say your name keeps showing up everywhere for this person, I do not mean it in a simple, casual way. I mean it in a way that feels almost supernatural. They might hear your name spoken by a stranger. They might see something, a word, a sign, a symbol that reminds them of you in a way that feels too precise to be accidental. They might be scrolling through social media and suddenly your name or your face appears and something inside them stops. Not just notices. Stops. Like their whole being is paying attention all at once. And they might not even know you well. They might have only met you once or twice. Or they might know you but have kept you at a distance for reasons that made sense to them at the time. And now, in this new season, something is dissolving that distance. Not because they made a conscious decision to let it dissolve, but because God is dissolving it. Quietly, gently, the way water wears down stone, not all at once, but inevitably. And here is why this is happening. Because God looked at both of your lives, yours and theirs, and He saw something. He saw a fit, a spiritual alignment, a complementary shape that, when placed together, creates something neither of you could create alone. And He began to move the pieces, not forcing anything, not manipulating anyone, just creating the conditions, removing the obstacles, clearing the path, and placing you gently, persistently, unmistakably on their radar, until the confusion they feel starts to become clarity, until the "why do I keep thinking about this person" starts to become "I think I understand now." And that understanding, that moment of clarity, is coming. For both of you. It is coming soon. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9 says, "In their hearts people plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." The Lord establishes their steps. Not human planning. Not coincidence. Not the algorithm. God. Deliberately. Personally. Lovingly. Establishing the steps that are leading you and this person toward each other. And even if neither of you can see the full path right now, even if it feels like you are both stumbling in the dark, the steps are being established. One at a time. And each step is leading somewhere beautiful. Now I want to pause here, because I want to address something that some of you might be feeling right now. A skepticism. A "this sounds too good to be true" feeling. And maybe even a little hope that you are afraid to hold on to, because hope has been painful before. I see you. I hear that voice inside you that is saying, "Be careful, do not get your hopes up." And I am not going to tell you that voice is wrong to exist. It exists because you have been hurt before. Because you have hoped before and it did not work out. And that is a normal, human response to repeated disappointment. But I am going to tell you something about that voice. It is not the voice of God. It is the voice of a wound that has not fully healed. And the fact that it is still speaking, the fact that it still has enough power to make you doubt something that is stirring in your spirit, tells me that there is still some healing work to be done. Not because you are broken, because you are human. And healing is not a one-time event. It is a process. And this season where someone is being drawn to you in a way neither of you fully understands, this is part of that process. Part of the healing. And if you can stay open, if you can let the hope exist alongside the fear without letting either one consume the other, something beautiful is going to unfold. Before we continue, I want to invite you to hit subscribe on this channel if you have not already. And turn on that notification bell. These messages are spirit-led. They are not random uploads. They are placed in front of the people who need them at exactly the right moment. And if this one found you, the next one is going to find you too. But only if you are subscribed and notified. So do that now. And if someone you know, a friend, a sister, a brother, someone who has been quietly struggling, needs to hear this word, please share this video with them. Just send it. You do not have to explain anything. Just let them receive it. Because it might be exactly what they have been waiting for. Now back to the message. Because I want to go even deeper. I want to talk about what is happening inside you during this time. Not just what is happening on their end. Because this is not a one-sided story. It is not just about them being drawn to you. It is also about you being prepared to receive them. And that preparation is happening right now. Whether you feel it or not. See, when God is setting up a connection like this, a real, spiritually ordained connection, He does not just work on one person. He works on both. He refines both. He clears things in both hearts that need to be cleared. And on your end, the clearing might look like this, a gradual release of something you have been holding onto. Maybe it is grief over a past relationship. Maybe it is anger towards someone who hurt you. Maybe it is a belief about yourself, a quiet, persistent belief that you are somehow not worthy of this kind of attention, this kind of interest, this kind of love. And as this new connection begins to form in the spiritual realm, as someone is being drawn to you, God is simultaneously working on loosening your grip on whatever has been keeping you from being fully available to receive it. Not all at once, piece by piece, gently, the way a flower opens in the morning light. Not forced, just gradually, naturally, beautifully opening. And you might not even notice it happening until one day you look back and realize, I am not carrying what I was carrying before. Something has lifted. And that lifting, that quiet release, is making room. Room for someone new. Room for a connection you did not plan for. Room for a chapter of your life that God has been writing long before you started reading it. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17 says, Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone, the new is here. The old has gone. The new is here. And I want you to let that sink in. Not as a future hope, as a present reality. Right now, in this moment, the old version of your story, the one that ended in pain or disappointment or confusion, it is gone. And the new version, the one that is just beginning to take shape, it is here. Already here. Already unfolding. And you are already in it. Even if you cannot see the full picture yet. Now let me tell you something very specific about what is happening in this person's heart. The one who keeps thinking about you. The one who is confused by how often you show up in their mind. Because I want you to understand the depth of what is occurring inside them. And I want you to see that this is not just casual interest. This is not just, oh, I thought of that person today. This is something much deeper. Something that is happening at a level they may not even be consciously aware of. When God places someone on your heart, when He truly places them there, it does not feel like a passing thought. It feels like a pull, a gravitational pull, like something inside you is reaching towards something outside you, and you do not fully understand it. You might try to rationalize it. I probably just saw something that reminded me of them. It is probably just because I am lonely. It does not mean anything. But the pull does not stop. It keeps coming back, day after day, in unexpected moments, in quiet spaces, in the middle of completely unrelated situations. And eventually, the rationalizations start to feel hollow, start to feel like you are trying to explain away something that does not want to be explained away. And that is where this person is right now. They are at the point where the rationalizations are starting to crack, where the confusion is starting to give way to something that feels more like a knowing. A quiet, uncomfortable, exciting knowing that this is not random, that you are not just a passing thought, that something real is happening, and they are beginning to wonder what they are supposed to do about it. And here is the beautiful part. The part that I think is going to make something click inside you when you hear it. The reason your name keeps showing up for them, the reason they cannot shake the feeling of you, is not just because God is drawing them to you. It is because something about your spirit is calling to something in theirs. A resonance, a frequency, two souls that are vibrating on the same spiritual wavelength. And that resonance, that deep soul-level connection, is something that cannot be manufactured or forced. It either exists or it does not. And in your case, it exists. It has always existed. Even before you knew each other. Even before your paths crossed in any meaningful way. The connection was already there, waiting. And now God is activating it, bringing it to the surface, making it felt, making it known. And both of you are going to have to decide what to do with it. Romans chapter 8, verse 28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." In all things, not just the good things, all things, including the confusion, including the uncertainty, including the moments where you have no idea what is happening or why. God is working it all together for your good, for their good, for the good of something bigger than either of you can see right now. Now I want to take you into something that I think is really important. Something about the nature of this kind of connection, and why it often comes with confusion rather than immediate clarity. Most of us have been taught that love should be obvious, that when the right person shows up, you should just know, that there should be fireworks and instant chemistry and an unmistakable feeling that says, "This is it." And sometimes that is true. But sometimes, and I think this is what is happening in your situation, the connection does not announce itself loudly. It whispers, it nudges, it shows up in small, quiet, easy-to-miss moments. And the reason it comes this way, the reason it is subtle rather than dramatic, is because it is meant to bypass the ego. When a connection comes in loudly, with all the drama and intensity and immediate fireworks, it is often the ego that is responding. The part of you that wants to be chosen. The part that wants validation. The part that needs to feel special. And connections that are rooted primarily in the ego tend to burn bright and then burn out. They do not last. They cannot last. Because they were never built on a solid foundation. But when a connection comes in quietly, through a gentle pull, through a name that keeps showing up, through a feeling that will not go away, it is bypassing the ego entirely. It is going straight to the soul, straight to the deepest, most authentic part of who you are. And connections that are rooted there, connections that begin at the soul level, those are the ones that last. Those are the ones that God builds. Those are the ones that can weather storms and grow over time and become something truly extraordinary. And that is what is happening here. This connection, the one that is making this person confused, the one that keeps placing your name in their awareness, it is not a surface-level thing. It is going deep, much deeper than either of you realizes. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb I knew you, before you were born I set you apart." Before you were born, before you took your first breath, God already knew you, already had a plan for you, already saw the full arc of your life, including the connections that would matter most. And this person, the one who cannot stop thinking about you, they are not outside of that plan. They are inside it. They are woven into it. And the fact that you are showing up in their awareness right now, in this season, at this moment, that is not an accident. That is the plan unfolding. Now let me shift for a moment, because I want to talk about something practical. Something about what you should do or not do during this time. Because I know some of you are feeling an impulse right now. An impulse to do something about it. To reach out. To make contact. To somehow acknowledge what is happening. And I want to address that impulse directly. Here is my counsel to you. Do not force it. I know that might be hard to hear, especially if you already have feelings for this person, or if you have been hopping for a connection like this, or if the very idea that someone is thinking about you this much is making you feel something you have not felt in a long time. But do not force it, because the moment you step in and try to orchestrate this, the moment you make it about your timeline and your plan, you risk disrupting something that God is carefully, delicately, perfectly setting up. And the setup is not complete yet. They are still in the confusion stage. They are still processing. They are still letting the awareness grow. And if you rush in before they have fully arrived at their own understanding, before they have had the chance to come to the realization on their own, it is going to feel like pressure instead of invitation. And pressure is the enemy of genuine connection. So what do you do instead? You do what you have been doing. You keep living your life. You keep showing up as yourself. You keep being the person that heaven is drawing them toward. Not a performance, not a curated version. You, the real, authentic, God-shaped you. Because that is what is calling to them. Not anything you have done to attract their attention. Something about who you are. Something about the way your spirit shows up in the world. And the best thing you can do right now is simply continue being that. Continue being authentically you. And let God handle the timing. Psalm 37, verse 7 says, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when men carry out their plans, for they will surely be cut down." Be still. Wait patiently. Do not fret. That is the instruction. Not because nothing is happening. Everything is happening. But it is happening in a realm you cannot see. And your job is not to see it. Your job is to trust it. Now I want to go into something that has been on my heart throughout this entire message. Something about the emotional landscape of what you are going through. Because I suspect it has not been easy. And I do not want to gloss over that. Waiting is one of the hardest things we do. especially when we feel like something is happening, but we cannot quite see it or touch it or confirm it. That in-between space, that I think something is going on, but I am not sure space, it is uncomfortable. It breeds doubt. It breeds impatience. It breeds that restless feeling in your chest that says, I need to know, I need to do something, I cannot just sit here. And I want to acknowledge that feeling. It is real. It is valid. And it is a sign that you care deeply. That this matters to you. That your heart is invested in a way that goes beyond casual interest. But I also want to offer you something to replace the restlessness with. Something that is not passivity. Something that is actually far more active than anything you could do externally. And it is this prayer. Specific, intentional, intimate prayer. Not just God, help me with this situation, but a prayer that goes deeper. A prayer that says, God, I see something happening, I feel something stirring, and I do not fully understand it yet, but I trust you. Help me stay patient, help me stay open, and help me receive whatever you are sending in the way it is meant to be received. That kind of prayer is not passive at all. It is one of the most powerful things you can do, because it keeps you connected to the source. It keeps you aligned with the plan, and it prevents you from drifting into either extreme, the extreme of forcing something, or the extreme of giving up entirely. It keeps you right in the middle, right where God needs you to be. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 17 says, pray continually. Not once, not when you remember, continually, throughout your day, in the quiet moments, in the busy ones, in the moments of doubt and in the moments of hope. Keep the line open. Keep talking to God, and keep listening for what He is saying back. Now let me paint you another picture, because I think this is going to help you see what is happening from a very different angle. And it might give you a peace that has been eluding you. Imagine that you are standing in a garden, a beautiful garden, and in this garden there is a tree, a big, strong, ancient tree, and somewhere inside that tree there is a seed, a tiny seed that has just begun to sprout. Just begun. And right now, if you looked at that tree, you would not see the new growth. It is too small, too new, too hidden inside the larger structure of the tree. But it is there, and it is alive, and it is growing, slowly but surely, day by day. And one day, not too far from now, that seed is going to become something visible, something you can see, something you can touch, something that changes the shape of the tree entirely. But right now, in this moment, it is invisible. And the fact that you cannot see it does not mean it is not there. It just means it is not ready to be seen yet. And your love story, the one that is unfolding between you and this person who cannot stop thinking about you, it is that seed. It is there. It is alive. It is growing. You just cannot see it yet. And that is okay, because God can see it, and He is tending to it. And when the time is right, it is going to break through into the light, into your awareness, into your life, in a way that is going to feel like a miracle. Because from where you are standing right now, it seems impossible. But from where God is standing, it is inevitable. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 says, for the vision awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and does not lie. Though the vision tarries, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. It will certainly come. Not maybe. Certainly. And the appointed time, the moment when this connection becomes visible and real and something you can actually hold, that time is approaching. It is not far away. And you just need to keep trusting, keep waiting, keep being who you are, and let God do what only He can do. Now I want to address something that I think a lot of people struggle with in situations like this. And it is the question of worth. Your worth. In the context of someone being drawn to you. In the context of someone being confused by how often you show up in their awareness. Because I think, for many of you watching this, there is a small voice that is saying, why would someone be that interested in me? What is it about me that would make someone's name keep showing up? I am just ordinary. I am just normal. There is nothing special about me that would cause this kind of attention. And I want to address that voice directly. Because it is lying to you. Not partially. Completely. You are not ordinary in the way that voice is trying to tell you. You are not unremarkable. You are not someone that heaven would overlook or pass by. You are someone that God specifically chose. Not just to love, but to place in someone else's path in a way that changes everything for both of you. And the fact that someone cannot stop thinking about you, the fact that your name keeps appearing in their awareness, that is not random. That is heaven confirming something about your value, something about your significance, something about the role you are meant to play not just in your own life, but in someone else's. Psalm 139, verses 13 and 14 say, "For you have created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, I know that fully well." Fearfully and wonderfully made. That is you. Not in spite of your flaws. Not despite your imperfections. In the fullness of who you are. God made you wonderfully. And the person who is being drawn to you right now, they are beginning to sense that wonder. They are beginning to feel the weight of it. Even if they do not have the words for it yet. Even if it is still manifesting as confusion rather than clarity. They are feeling you. And it is significant. Now let me take you into something that I want to spend a little time on. Because it is relevant to this situation and to your life more broadly. And it has to do with the concept of spiritual timing and why God does things the way He does. One of the things people struggle with most in their relationship with God is His timing. We want things now. We want answers now. We want the blessing to show up immediately. And when it does not, when there is a delay, a pause, a waiting period, we interpret it as God being slow or indifferent or even withholding. But here is what I want you to consider. God's timing is not slow. It is precise. It is exact. It is calibrated to account for every single variable in the equation. Every person involved. Every circumstance that needs to shift. Every piece of growth that needs to happen. And in a situation like yours, where a connection is forming between two people who both need to be ready, the timing has to account for both of you. Both of your growth. Both of your healing. Both of your readiness. And maybe one of you has been ready for a while. But the other one is still in process. Still working through something. Still letting go of something. Still becoming who they need to be. And God is patient enough to wait for that. He is not going to rush one person into a connection before they are spiritually, emotionally ready for it. Because He knows that a connection entered into prematurely, before both people are truly ready, is going to crack under the weight of what it will eventually have to hold. And God does not want that for you. He wants this to last. He wants this to be real. He wants this to be the kind of love that goes deep and stays. And that requires both of you to arrive at the same place, at the same time, at the right level of readiness. And that is what is being orchestrated right now. behind the scenes, in the invisible space where God does his most careful, most intentional work. Philippians chapter 4, verse 5 says, "Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near." The Lord is near. Not distant, not working from far away. Near, right here, right in the middle of this. And his nearness is what is making all of this possible. His nearness is what is drawing this person to you. His nearness is what is preparing you to receive them. And his nearness is what is going to hold the connection together when it finally becomes something you can both see and feel and walk into. Now I want to pause here and speak to something that I feel very strongly about. And it has to do with how you carry yourself during this time. Not outwardly, inwardly. Because I think the way you are holding this internally, the story you are telling yourself about what is happening, matters more than anything you do or say on the outside. If you are holding this with anxiety, with a desperate need to know, to confirm, to make it happen, that anxiety is going to seep into everything. It is going to make you restless. It is going to make you reach out before the time is right. It is going to make you interpret every small sign as either a confirmation or a rejection. And that kind of anxious holding does not create space for a connection to grow. It suffocates it. But if you are holding this with trust, with a quiet, grounded confidence that God is handling it, then you can breathe. You can be present. You can enjoy your life while this unfolds in the background. And paradoxically, that kind of relaxed, trusting energy is actually what makes you most attractive. Not in a manipulative way. Not as a strategy, but as a natural byproduct of a heart that is at peace. And a heart at peace draws other hearts toward it. Like a light in a dark room. Like warmth on a cold night. And that is what you are being right now, whether you know it or not. A light. A warmth. A presence that is making someone else's life feel different. Brighter. More alive. Matthew chapter 5, verse 16 says, "In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and praise the Father." Let your light shine. Not force it. Not perform it. Just let it shine. Naturally. Authentically. The way it does when you are simply being who God made you to be. And your light is shining right now. Even if you do not feel it. Even if you are in a season of doubt or uncertainty or quiet struggle. The light is there. And someone is seeing it. Now, let me invite you to do something before we continue. If this message has touched something in you, if it has stirred hope or comfort, or even just a feeling of being seen, I want you to like this video. Press that like button right now. And if you feel led to support this channel, to help us continue creating this kind of spirit-led content, you can click Super Thanks or join our membership through the link in the description. Every bit of support helps us reach more people who are in exactly the season you are in right now. And it is a beautiful way of saying, I want to be part of spreading this word. If that is on your heart, thank you. You are a true blessing to this work. Now back to the message. And I want to go into something that I think is really the turning point of this entire script. The thing that is going to shift your perspective on this whole situation. And it has to do with something you might not have considered. What if the reason this person keeps thinking about you, the reason your name keeps showing up in their life, is not just about romance? What if it is also about purpose? What if the connection that is forming between you is not just a love story? What if it is also a destiny story? A story about two people coming together not just to love each other, but to do something together. Something that neither of you can do alone. Because that is often how God sets up the deepest, most lasting connections. not just as companionship, not just as emotional support, but as a partnership, a team. Two people whose gifts, strengths, and callings complement each other in a way that creates something significantly bigger than the sum of its parts. And the confusion this person is feeling, the why do I keep thinking about this person confusion, might not be just about attraction. It might be about recognition. A deep spiritual recognition that their soul is registering before their mind catches up. A recognition that says, this person matters to me in a way I do not fully understand yet, not just personally, spiritually, destiny-wise. And that recognition, that deeper knowing, is one of the hallmarks of a God-ordained connection. It goes beyond chemistry. It goes beyond compatibility. It goes into the realm of purpose, of calling, of the specific, unique contribution that you two are meant to make together in this world. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 16 says, "From him the whole body is joined and held together by what every supporting joint supplies, according to the special ability of each part, the body grows and builds itself up in love, as each part does its work." Each part doing its work. And in this metaphor, you and this person are two parts. Two unique, irreplaceable parts of something larger. And when you come together, when the connection fully forms, it is not just going to change your personal lives. It is going to contribute to something bigger. Something that serves others. Something that makes a difference. And the confusion they feel right now, the restless, persistent, unexplained draw toward you, is their soul beginning to sense that contribution. Beginning to sense that they are supposed to be doing something alongside you. Something they have not yet done. Something they cannot do without you. And I want you to let that land. Not just as a nice idea. As a responsibility. A calling. Something that heaven is inviting you into. And the way you show up in this season, with faith, with patience, with authenticity, is going to determine how smoothly that invitation is received. By you, by them, by the God who is orchestrating all of it. Now, let me take you into something very specific, very grounded, something about the signs. Because I want to talk about what signs you might start seeing, or might have already been seeing, that confirm what I have been telling you today. And I want to give you a framework for understanding them. The first sign is a feeling of peace about someone you previously felt unsettled about, or a feeling of peace about your situation in general. A sudden, unexplained calm that seems to come from nowhere. And that peace is not just a mood. It is a message. It is God saying, trust what is happening, it is good. The second sign is a dream. A dream that involves this person, or involves a situation that feels significant. And the dream is not chaotic or confusing. It is clear. It has a feeling of meaning attached to it. And when you wake up, it stays with you. It does not fade the way ordinary dreams do. If you have been having dreams like this, do not dismiss them. Bring them to God. Ask Him what they mean. And be open to the possibility that they are part of the communication. The third sign is a word that comes to you in prayer, in scripture, through someone else, through a song that feels like it was placed there specifically for you. And the word is not generic. It is specific. It speaks to exactly what you are going through, exactly what you are feeling, exactly what you need to hear. And when you receive it, something shifts. Something settles. Something inside you says, yes, that is for me. And the fourth sign, and this one is subtle but powerful, is a change in how you feel about yourself. A gradual, almost imperceptible shift in your self-perception. Where the old stories, the I am not enough stories, The "I do not deserve this" stories start to feel less true, less heavy, less consuming. And in their place, something new is growing. A quiet confidence, a sense of your own value that is not dependent on external validation. And that shift, that internal shift, is not separate from the connection forming. It is part of it. It is the ground being prepared, the soil being made fertile, for the seed of this relationship to grow in. Now I want to go back to something I said earlier and expand on it, because I think it is important. I said that God is not just drawing this person to you. He is also preparing you. And I want to talk more specifically about what that preparation looks like and what it is asking of you. The preparation is this: God is asking you to become someone who can hold love without being destroyed by it. Someone who can receive love without immediately testing it, without immediately looking for the flaw, without immediately preparing for the disappointment. Someone who can say, "I will trust this, I will be present in this, I will let myself be loved." And I know, because I can hear it in the way some of you are reading these words, that this is one of the hardest things in the world for you. Because you have been burned. You have given love before and it did not come back. You have been vulnerable before and it was used against you. And so your heart has learned to protect itself, to keep one foot in and one foot out, to never fully commit emotionally until it is absolutely, undeniably safe. And I understand why. That protection served you. It kept you from being completely destroyed. But now, in this new season, that same protection is going to keep you from receiving something extraordinary. Because you cannot hold love with clenched fists. You have to hold it with open hands. And that requires a kind of trust that goes all the way down. All the way to God. Not trust in the other person. Trust in God. Trust that He would not bring someone into your life without a reason. Trust that He would not orchestrate a connection like this if it was not meant to bless you. Trust that even if things do not go perfectly, He is still in control. And that trust, that deep, God-rooted trust, is the foundation on which this new connection is going to be built. Romans chapter 10, verse 9 says, "If you declare with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, and you believe in your heart that God raised Him from the dead, you will be saved." Declaration and belief. Both are required. And I want you to declare something right now. Not out loud necessarily, but in your heart. Declare this: "I trust God with my heart. I trust Him with this connection, and I am willing to be open even if it is scary, because I believe He knows what He is doing." That declaration, that quiet internal act of faith, is going to shift something. It is going to open a door inside you that has been closed for a long time. And on the other side of that door is the capacity to receive love the way you were always meant to receive it. Now let me spend a few minutes on something that I think is going to resonate with a lot of you. Something about the loneliness of this season. Because I know for many of you, this is not a fun time. Even if something beautiful is happening in the background, the foreground can feel incredibly lonely. You are waiting. You do not know exactly what is coming. You do not have someone beside you right now to hold your hand and say, "It is going to be okay." And that loneliness, that quiet, aching loneliness, is real. I am not going to minimize it. I am not going to tell you to just be grateful because something is coming. Because gratitude does not cancel out pain. And you are allowed to feel both at the same time. Grateful and lonely. Hopeful and aching. Trusting and scared. All of it at the same time. And that is not weakness. That is humanity. That is what it looks like to be in the middle of something sacred, that has not yet fully arrived. But I also want you to know something about the loneliness. It is not permanent. It is seasonal. And seasons change. They always change. And this particular season, the waiting, the uncertainty, the feeling of being in between, it is going to end. Not because you forced it to end, but because God's timeline is bringing it to a close. And what comes after it, the connection, the companionship, the love, the partnership, is going to be so much richer because of the loneliness you walked through to get there. Because you are going to know what it means to be alone. And you are going to know what it means to not be alone. And the contrast between the two is going to make every moment of the new season feel like a gift. Psalm 34, verse 18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Close to the brokenhearted. He is not far away during the lonely times. He is closest during them. And that closeness, that intimate nearness of God is sustaining you right now. Even if it does not feel like it. Even if the loneliness feels like the loudest thing in the room. God is there, right beside you, holding you. And He is going to hold you through this season and into the next one. Now I want to do something before we move into the final part of this message. I want to pray for you. Not in a formal way, just from one heart to another. God, I am asking you to watch over this person. The one who is watching this right now. The one who is in the middle of something they cannot fully see yet. I am asking you to give them patience. Real patience. Not the kind that grits its teeth and waits reluctantly. The kind that trusts so deeply that the waiting itself becomes peaceful. I am asking you to continue drawing this connection forward. To continue placing them on the radar of the person you have prepared. And to bring them together in your perfect timing. Not a second too early. Not a second too late. And I am asking you to remind them in whatever way you see fit that they are not alone. That you are with them. That this is going to be beautiful. In Jesus' name. Now let me take you into the final stretch of this message. Because there is something I have been building toward. Something that ties everything together. And I want you to receive it with the same openness you brought to the beginning. Everything I have shared today, the person who cannot stop thinking about you, the confusion they are feeling, the signs you might be seeing, the preparation that is happening inside you, the loneliness of the waiting, all of it is part of one story. One continuous, God-orchestrated narrative. And the narrative is not finished. It is not even close to finished. But it is moving. It is progressing. It is heading somewhere. And the destination, the place where this story is going, is somewhere you have been dreaming about. Somewhere you have been praying for. Somewhere you have been afraid to fully believe in. A place where you are loved. Really loved. Not perfectly, but genuinely, consistently, deeply, by someone who sees all of you and chooses to stay. By someone whose name keeps showing up in your life too. In ways you might not have noticed yet, but will, because the connection is not one-sided. It never was. It has been building on both sides, simultaneously. And when it fully comes to light, when both of you see it for what it is going to feel like the most natural thing in the world. Like something that was always supposed to happen. Like coming home after a very long time away. And I want you to hold onto that feeling. That image. That sense of home. Because it is not just a metaphor. It is a spiritual reality. And it is what is waiting for you on the other side of this season. Revelation chapter 3, verse 8 says, See that I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. An open door that no one can shut. Not fear, not doubt, not the past, not the enemy. No one. And God has placed that door before you. Right now, in this season. And even though you cannot see it clearly yet, even though it might still feel like a whisper rather than a shout, it is there. It is open, and it is waiting for you to walk through it. Now, before I let you go, I want to ask you to do something very important. Not for me, for yourself, and for every single person who might need to hear this word. First, please like this video. Right now, press the like button. It helps this message reach more people. People who are in exactly the same season you are in. People who are confused and hopeful and scared and trusting all at the same time. And it costs you nothing. Just a moment of your attention. Second, subscribe to this channel if you have not already. And turn on the notification bell. Because these messages are placed in front of the right people at the right time. And if this one found you, the next one is going to find you too. But only if you are subscribed. So do that now. Third, share this video with someone. Think of a person in your life who is going through something similar. Someone who is waiting. Someone who is confused about a connection. Someone who has been quietly hopping but is afraid to say it out loud. Send this to them. Not with a big explanation. Just send it. And let it speak to them the way it spoke to you. And finally, in the comments below, I want you to leave a declaration. Something that represents what you are choosing in this moment. If you believe that God is orchestrating a connection in your life, type. God is at work. If you are choosing to trust His timing, even though you cannot see the full picture, type. I trust the process. If you are choosing to stay open and let love arrive in the way God has planned, type. I am open and I am ready. Whatever feels right, leave it. Because it is not just a comment. It is a declaration. A spiritual statement that goes beyond the screen. And it is going to follow you into the days ahead as a reminder. A reminder that you chose faith. You chose trust. You chose to believe. Even when you could not see everything clearly. And for those of you who feel led to support this channel, to partner with us in this work of spreading spirit-led messages to the people who need them, you can click Super Thanks or check the link in the description to join our membership. Every contribution, no matter how small, helps us continue this mission. And it is a beautiful way of saying, I am not just watching, I am participating. If that is on your heart, thank you. You are a blessing. Now, one final thought. Before I go, I want to leave you with a truth. A simple, powerful, unshakable truth that you can carry with you from this moment forward. You are not invisible. You have never been invisible. Not to God, not to heaven, and not to the person whose life you are quietly changing just by existing. Your name is showing up. Your presence is being felt. Your light is being seen. And the connection that is forming, the one that is still in its early, confusing, beautiful stages, it is real. It is ordained. And it is going to become something extraordinary. Not because you forced it. Not because you manipulated the situation. But because God looked at two hearts and said, these two are meant to find each other. And He is making it happen. One quiet sign at a time. One gentle nudge at a time. One name showing up at a time. Until the confusion gives way to clarity. And the clarity gives way to connection. And the connection gives way to a love story that neither of you could have written on your own. But God could. And He did. So keep going. Keep trusting. Keep being you. And know that someone out there right now cannot stop thinking about you. And that is not random. That is heaven at work on your behalf. And it is beautiful. God bless you. I will see you in the next message.